Hello, Cliff Stanwick, Stanwick Real Estate, and today I'm doing a real estate market update for South Placer County. Welcome, and I think you're going to find this data somewhat discouraging, only because the market isn't falling apart. Yes, interest rates are approaching 7%. There's a lot of doom and gloom. At the end of the day, the numbers aren't showing that. And it's been a case of something I've been discussing for the last few weeks. Basically, if you have your home priced for the market value of your neighborhood, meaning that you've done the evaluation based on what the average or typical home in your neighborhood sells for, you will be in contract in 20 days if it is in really neat as a pin condition, updated or remodeled if it's over 10 years old, and has no moving parts when the house is sold, meaning move outs, rent backs, replacement property. That's the truth of the market. So I'm going to go over my disclaimer because, again, I feel a lot of times this is very different than what is being shared by the real estate fear mongers. These views and opinions expressed are my own and don't represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of Real Estate Fix. And the material and information presented here is for general information purposes only. So with that, we are going to share my screen, and I am going to go over a Google Sheet that I make. And this is based on the actives pending solds for South Placer, and these are numbers pulled off the MLS. This isn't pulled off Zillow or Realtor.com or anywhere else. This is pulled off the MLS that I am a member of and I have access to. So let's just go over the numbers. Roseville, 171 actives, 200 pendings. The inventory, by the way, is 10% less in general than it was last week. All right. Over half the homes in Roseville are pending in less than 20 days. We have less than a month of inventory in Roseville. We have 2 short sales, so we have no REOs, okay? Rocklin, we have 73 actives and we have 76 pendings. We have 44 of those, less than 20 days. That means basically we have less than a month of inventory, and almost 58% of the homes in Rocklin are going in contract in less than 20 days. In Lincoln, we have 98 actives. We have 77 pendings. Of the 77, 50 of them are in contract less than 20 days. And the inventory is a little bit over a month. And approximately almost 65% of those homes are pending in 20 days. And we have 1 short sale and 1 REO. So this market, again, isn't falling apart. Now, when we get to the higher cost markets like Granite Bay and Loomis, we're seeing the inventory kind of hold steady. The pendings were up 1 apiece, but again, less than 20 days, 60% of the houses in Granite Bay, and almost 56% of the houses in Loomis, right? And there's no short sales, and there are no REOs, no real estate, no bank-owned sales in the area. And I know a lot of people are going to go, wow, I don't believe that, right? You must be making it up, right? So I am going to basically show you the MLS, which is these are all the pending home sales in Roseville, and there is 101 of them. There's 3 pages of them, and basically there's 3 parts of this market, which again I've explained in earlier videos. There's the under $500,000 market, and those things are flying off like hotcakes, less than 20 days. There's the $500,000 to $800,000 market, and those are taking almost twice as long to sell, average-wise, and there's a reason for that. And then there's the luxury market in Roseville, which I've defined as 800 and over, and that median time is about 22 days on the market. But what I want to share with you is we're down inventory in Roseville. We're down 10 houses, and we have over half the houses are basically in contract in less than 20 days. And even the houses that have been on the market for hundreds of days now are selling, and not necessarily because they did a price reduction. It's just that's how tight the inventory is. Now, I'm going to go over some solds, which I'm going to share with you in a little bit, but I just want you to see this data, right? I'm just going to say the days on market before they're pending, okay? 26, 18, 5, 7, 142, 3, 7, 132, 31, 7, 25, 3, 24, 60 days, 200 days, 6 days, 7 days, 23, 14, 44, 2, 34, 82, 35, 3, 42, 32, 91, 81, 120, 14, 184, 113, 24, 155, 189, 158, 5, 9, 13, 49, 4, 145, 70, 33, 12, 93, 2, and 3. And if I, it just goes on and on, right? It's basically this market is moving, okay? And if you're a seller, you need to understand why it's moving. And I'm going to share something at the end of this video. If you're going out and you're looking at Zillow, which is using data that's over 30 days old or last month's data, you're making a huge miss. So again, I'm just going to go through the second page again on the screen share. And again, 19, 71, 23, 15, 22, 67, 67, 89, 5 days, 31, 60, 7 days, 23, 14, 77, 71, 68, 180, 4, 151, 29, 17, 4 days, 21, 29, 4, 5, 52, 111, 105, 177. The point I'm going to try to make here is when you start looking at what we're doing is we have a lot of people who went out on the market last year, didn't go off the market, there was no activity, but they're not reducing their price. I mean, that is the bifurcation of this market. We have people that are not going to take less money in spite of the prices going up 30 or 40% in 2 years. They're not going to sell their house for less. And most likely it's due to the fact that they're not relocating out of area. I haven't necessarily interviewed those people, or because I shouldn't. They're working with another agent. But the reality is people that go out on this market, new houses are selling, right? All these houses that aren't even taking a month. I'm looking at less than 20 days. If you look at the numbers, a lot of these houses are gone and in 20 days or less than a month, I should say. So the market is really moving, all right? And sellers have a strategy and buyers are buying, right? Again, the inventory is lower than it was last week. We're down basically 10 homes. We're down 1%, or I should say 10% in inventory from last week. Now, are the rates going to impact things? Most likely they will. But what is happening with selling, right? Sellers are buying down the rates. That's what the new construction people are doing. So if you're selling, would you give up, 1% of your home sale to essentially make $10,000? Because that's what you're doing. Okay, it's 10% of the price is based on a 1-point movement. Okay, so if the rates are 7 and you buy it down for 6, you're basically on a $600,000 house, right? That's essentially, say it cost you $10,000 or $15,000 to buy the points down. You're selling for $60,000 more on a $600,000 house because you bought the rate down, the effective buying power, right? And I've discussed this in the past. Sellers need to look at how houses are selling, why they're selling, and make adjustments going out on this market. Buyers are obviously working with some really good agents and working with some really good lenders who are making things happen. That is the market. It isn't falling apart. And I'm just going to go over this, a little bit more. I'm going to go back to some of the data that I have, and I'll go back to my screen share, and I'm going to show the what I call the misinformation that's out there. Okay, so what I've done is I've gone and I've looked at the median average and sold, okay? So when the average prices are above the median, that means prices are increasing, okay? That's what it means, because half the homes are selling above a price and half of the homes are selling below a price. When the average is higher, that means prices are going up. Now, I put on this screen here, which I hope you can see, is the price difference between, again, this is why data matters. The price that Zillow says the average homes are versus my MLS data that I've pulled for the last 30 days. Okay, this is current from essentially February 4th to March 3rd as of this video. Okay, the prices in Roseville, the average is almost 660. Zillow says it's 615. It's $45,000 higher. Zillow says in Rocklin that the average prices, when you go there, and I have the links there, this isn't made up numbers, is 652. In Rocklin, the average is 736. Okay, the numbers in Lincoln are 618 for Zillow says the average house is selling for. The numbers say the houses are selling for $677,000. Okay, literally $54,000 more dollars in Lincoln. Granite Bay, Zillow has houses at average at 1.04. In Granite Bay, the average is 100 and, look at it, it's 200,000, 1.2. All right, in Loomis, Zillow says it's 818 average. It's almost $1 million. It's 980. It's $160,000 more dollars, and that's a high price market. Loomis is a high price market, right? So you don't believe it? Okay, you saw the Roseville number 659 versus 615. This is what Zillow says, 615. I'm not making this stuff up, okay? Not making it up at all. And the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you something on my dashboard, and you'll watch me go through this, right? That is basically, you go and this is my dashboard, and it's loading. And with the stream, it's a little slow. Okay. So I'm going to read off the rest of the sales here. All right. And this is my market dashboard here. And I'll roll it up here. Is basically there's 19 homes that have recorded today. All right. And I look at South Placer. All right. 18 residences and 1 piece of land. And it's a little slow to load. Okay. So here are the numbers. The first house took 48 days to sold, and that was basically, it was down 40,000. All right, the next day, and basically the next house took 85 days to sell, and it was down only $9,000 or $10,000. Here's a house that took 24 days to sold, and it dropped 19,000. Okay, 759 to 740. Here's a house in Lincoln, Bella Circle, near the golf course. It went out 165. It sold for 1.6. I mean, that's like 3%, 96.97%. Here's a house, 16 days, was on the market last year, 108 days consecutively. But again, at the beginning of the year, relisted 16 days, basically $5,000, right? And that's the insanity of this market, all right? The insanity of this market is it isn't dropping, right? Here's a 39 days, dropped $10,000, 550 sold for 540, 2 days, 439 sold for 450. So again, the affordability market, it's going up. Here's a house in Newcastle on some acreage off of Gold Hill on Chaparral. Basically 2 days on the market, and it 1.1 million, right? And again, if I look at the detail, right, I'm going to look at the detail. it's very doubtful whether there's even more than one offer on these things. So it isn't like there's a bidding frenzy. Yeah, here we go. Multiple offers. No, one offer. Okay, that's the market that you're in. Okay, it's a market that if the home is priced right, it's going to sell. If it's in great condition, it's going to sell. If it's an older home and it's been updated and remodeled, it's going to sell, right? And that's what we're talking about. So here again, we had a house that sold in 11 days in Roseville, a little smaller, 11 days, 555, 540. Another house, basically, it was on the market for 26 days, sold for more money, 850, sold for 903. All right, here's a house, 41 days on Sunview, basically 954, sold for 900. Buyers are not overpaying in this market, okay? They're not. But what they are doing is they are buying homes, in spite of what you may think, in spite of what you might see. All right, so we're going to keep going. Benton Loop, 40 days, 569, sold for 564, less than 1% off the price. Cloudburst, it was a brand new house on the market for 218, so this is a misnomer. And again, right, don't believe anything you're seeing on the internet. Find an agent, get the data, because the data, here's a K-Horvarian home, brand new house, set on the market for 218 days, basically sold for 98% of the list price, meaning they just left it out there to get interest, right? So that skews the days on market. But the reality is new homes are being sold, and usually with some incentives if there's a mortgage, right? So again, Skippering, this is in Roseville, 84 days, $20,000 price reduction. So sellers aren't giving up either, right? That's the other thing. Overpriced houses are just taking forever to sell, but the sellers aren't making these huge concessions. Morgan Creek, 9 days. This was a new home, sold for 100% of the money, $865. Here's 13 days in the Everglades, basically $589, $572. And then here's a house on Ranch Hand. This was on the market for 206 days. It was a brand new house, and it went for basically about $150,000 less than the price. So getting back to everything I'm talking about, this market is not what you think it is unless you have the data to see what it is. It's a market that is moving. The only houses that aren't selling are basically resale houses where the sellers have missed on the price, and that can be due to a host of reasons. It can be due to condition, it can be due to location, it can be due to a host thing, but price drives everything in real estate. If you have a nice home, if you've made updates and remodeled it, and you've kept it in great condition, and if you have a pool, you're going to get the world for it. If you have solar, that's going to help. All these things will sell your house. If there's anything I can do, I'd love to help you. This market is not what you think. The inventory is down. If you're thinking of selling, I'd love to help you explore it. If you're buying, let's go after and get some concessions from the seller to get you a better rate, and work with lenders who have better programs to help you buy. That's how simple it is to buy in this market. As usual, I'd appreciate it if you would like my Facebook page where this live event is, and also to subscribe on my YouTube page, Cliff Stanwick Real Estate. I'm making this video available. Again, I appreciate your time. Don't believe the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and the hope that this market is cratering. It's not. If I'm in the stock market and I'm getting destroyed, the real estate looks really, really good right now because I'm not seeing the prices fall. With that, I wish you all the best in your journey for some real estate. Thank you.